Hi everyone, welcome to LEARN.COM and I Ashutosh Tripathi once again before you to continue the topic that we had left behind, that is prepositions. In the previous video we had covered preposition of time, and in this video, that is the part 2 of prepositions, we are going to cover prepositions related to place, movement and direction. So let's begin with this second part. Yes, here we are. So to begin with, preposition of position. Now these are the words which are going to define the position of the noun or the pronoun in the sentence. So the common preposition which are used with reference to position is at and in. Now let's see how they are used. As you can see, at has the idea of exact point and is used to refer small places, villages, towns. On the other hand, in has the idea of larger area and is used to refer bigger places like bigger towns, states, countries, etc. So both at and in, both are used to give information about the place of the noun or pronoun. But what is the basic difference? That at is used with the reference to smaller places, whereas in is used to point out larger areas. Okay, so basically, as you can see in the example, he lives in Delhi, or he lives in Mumbai, or he lives in India, or we can say he lives in Australia. So he lives in Asia, Asian continent. So in this way, whenever we want to refer to some larger areas, then we use in, but with smaller places we use at. I live at Shivaji Chowk. So this Shivaji Chowk is a small place. So for smaller places we use at, and for larger places we use in. Like we won't say he lives at Delhi or he lives at Mumbai. That would be wrong. And similarly here, we cannot say I live in Shivaji Chowk. It looks very awkward and incorrect. So with smaller places we use at, and with larger places we use in. Let's move on to the next one, that is between and among. Now this is very easy. Many times some students get confused between them. But see, between is used with two persons or things. On the other hand, among is used with more than two. That is the basic difference between these two words. Between is used to between two persons or things. Whenever we are talking about something or some place which is between two persons, two things or two objects, then we use between. And if the number of person, things or object is more than two, then we use among. So the example will make it more clear. A table was lying between two chairs. See, the chairs, the number of chairs are exactly two. So when two things, two places, two persons, two numbers are there, then we use between. And when it is more than two, then we use among. He was happy to be among his friends. Means the friends are in more number, that is more than two. So we use among for more than two, and for exactly two we use between. Let's move on to the next slide. On and upon. Now these are the very interesting prepositions. Now this both on and upon can be used with while speaking of things at rest. Things at rest means when the object or a thing is not moving. Upon is used with things in motion. So a very slight difference is there. See, on and upon can be used while speaking of things at rest. Upon is used with things in motion. So when something is motionless, means it is not moving, it is fixed at one place. So both the prepositions can be used. You can use on also, and you can use upon also. But there is a particular condition, that is upon is used with things in motion. But when some that is object, person, or any animal is in motion, it is moving, and we want to describe its position, then we use upon. Means upon is used to describe things in motion. But if the thing is in rest, that is not moving, motionless, then you can use both, either on or upon. See the example, we can say the book is on the table, and we can also say the book is upon the table, because when the book is on the table, it is not moving, it is motionless in the rest position. So you can use either of it. You can use on, you can use upon. But when we say the cat sprang upon the table, the cat sprang upon the table, or jumped upon the table. So this spranging or jumping represents motion, means the cat is in the motion. So when something is in motion, then we use upon. And if the things are in rest, we can use either of them, on, upon, both will do. Okay, similarly, next one is above and over. Now see, most of the students get confused. See, both the things means something higher than. Above also means same thing, and over also means same thing. But see, what is the difference? We'll come to know. Both above and over means higher than. Means it shows a level, higher than. When two things are close to each other, we can use either of them. See, whenever we want to show the level, even when we say that above or over, means we are comparing two things with a reference to distance between them. So whenever the two things or two objects are close to each other, means the distance between them is less, then we can use either of them. Above will also do and over will also do. But when there is more space between two things, means the gap between the two objects or the gap between the two things is large, huge, then we use above. So with less distance we can use either of them, but with more distance we have to use above. Like here, we put protective nets over the plants. We put protective nets over the plants, means just above the plants, protective nets, so that they can be protected. We can use above also here. Now, but when the distance is large, when we want to say that high above us an eagle was hovering, or the eagle was flying high above us, means we are standing on the ground and the eagle is hovering in the sky. So the distance between us and the eagle is quite large, huge. So we have to use above. Now here we cannot say over. High over us an eagle was hovering would be wrong, because the distance between two persons or two things is more. So whenever the distance is less, we can use either of them. Both will do, over and above. But when the distance is more, large, then we have to use above. Hope you understood this small difference. Let's take on the next slide. Okay. Similarly, after getting an understanding about above and over, now we come to below and under. Same thing, below and under means lower than. There we studied about higher than. Here we have to study about lower than. Below and under. See, both below and under means lower than. Sometimes we can use either of them, but under also means vertically below. Here is a technical point. Sometimes we can use either of them, means both can be used in some situations. But when we are talking about two things or two objects, and one is lying exactly or vertically below the other, means you can say 90-degree angle, almost perpendicular, vertically below. If one thing lies vertically below the other, then we use under. Like, there was a lake below us in the valley. There was a lake below us in the valley. Means we are standing on a valley or a top of a mountain, and there is a lake below us. But the lake is not exactly below us. means it is not vertically below us. So we use below. But the traveler was resting under the tree. Under the tree means tree is above and we are standing under it. So we are almost vertically under the tree. So when the position is vertically below, then we use under, otherwise below. Because when we are standing under a tree, we are almost vertically below it. Otherwise, we use below. So if we say the traveler was resting below the tree, that would be wrong. Now here one more point is there. Below is also used in measurements to suggest the idea of being lower than while measuring something. Some unit like degrees, like Fahrenheit, there are several units. See here the temperature was 5 degrees below normal. So we use this word below to show measurements also. Next one is beside and besides. Beside and besides. Now beside means by the side of, and besides means in addition to. Beside means by the side of, means when if someone is sitting next to me. So I'll say for example my friend Alex is sitting next to me, and I would say that Alex is sitting beside me, right, next to me. And besides means in addition to. In addition to means apart from something, some extra. In addition to. Like put this bag beside the box. When we say put this bag beside the box, means the bag should be put just next to the box. So that is beside. But when we say besides giving me money, he gave me food. Means apart from giving me money, he gave me food also. Means he gave me money and in addition to it, he gave me food also. So besides means in addition to. Hope you are getting the clear concept. Now we'll move to preposition of movement and direction. Preposition of movement and direction. The first one is to and towards. Now to has the sense of destination, towards of direction. So to we use when we want to point out the destination, and towards is used to point out the direction, that in which direction the object or the person is moving. So when we want to focus on direction, we use towards, but when we want to focus on destination, we use to. We went to the theater. We went to the theater. Means reached the theater. Means that was our destination. That was our destination. So that is why we are using to. We went to the theater. But we went towards the theater. Here we are not focusing on destination, but we are focusing on direction. That is, the direction is towards the theater. That is why we say we went towards the theater. Direction of the theater. We are not going to the theater, but we are moving in the direction of the theater. So towards has the sense of direction and to has the sense of destination. Let's move on to the next one. Into and out of. Now into denotes movement towards the interior of something, and out of is opposite of into. When someone, some person, some object is moving into something, moving into the interior of something, then we use into. And it is coming out of or moving exterior to it, then we say out of. She walked quietly into the room. She walked quietly into the room, means moving inside the room. That is into the room. The bird flew out of the cage. The bird is coming out of the cage. So it is moving outside. So out of the cage. Interior and exterior. If the movement is towards the interior of something, we use into. If the movement is towards the exterior of something, we use out of. For and from. For and from. Now for suggests the beginning of movement, and from is used with the point of departure. For suggests the beginning of movement. then as soon as the movement starts, we use for. The boys left for the school means the boys have started moving. Their motion, their movement has just begun. So we use for. The boys left for the school. But from is used with the point of departure. He has already gone from the office. My point of departure, from where, the point from where the departure took place. He has already gone from the office. Off, it shows separation, and when two things get separated from each other, then we use off. He fell off the cycle means the subject he was in contact with the cycle, but as soon as the subject fell off the cycle means he got separated from it. So it is showing separation between two things, two objects, two person, or a person or an object. He fell off the cycle. Ball rolled off the table means the ball was rolling on the table. As soon as it lost contact with the table, it rolled off the table means the contact between the ball and the table was lost. So the ball rolled off the table. I think you understood all these prepositions. Last but not the least is I'm covering this in a very nutshell, that is phrasal preposition. Now what basically a phrasal preposition is? A phrasal preposition is not a prepositional phrase, but they are a combination of two or more words which functions as a preposition. Means there will be two or more words which are used together and they function as a preposition. So a combination of two or more words working as a preposition or functioning as a preposition is a phrasal preposition. Like here, few examples I have given along with, apart from, in front of, in spite of, according to, instead of, on top of, in addition to, etc. These are all phrasal prepositions. As you can see on your screen, they are the combination of two or more words and functioning as a preposition. The examples will clarify it. They, along with their children, went to Jaipur. So here, along with is a phrasal preposition. According to the new rules, you are not eligible. According to is a phrasal preposition. In spite of being a good player, he was not selected. In spite of, phrasal preposition. And finally, I'm going out of the city. Going out of the city. So out of is phrasal preposition. So it's a combination, as you can see, it's a combination of two or more words working as a preposition. Earlier we had studied single words, but here it is a combination of two or more words, but the function remains the same. That is why it is called phrasal preposition. So with this, we come to end of this second part of the topic preposition. I have covered the important ones, not all the prepositions, but the commonly used prepositions I have covered and hope you have understood properly, and no more confusion remains with you. So with this, we come to end of this video. Hope you liked it, understood it, and in case you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and share to others so that others also get benefited from it. Thanks for watching the video. Take care. Goodbye.